my crochet business profitable again. And only reason I'm saying that is I stopped almost 2 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, from having my son. Went through a deep depression, couldn't crochet, couldn't get my mind right. I was too busy depressed. I literally had so many daggone views. I had so many clients. I had sales. I was doing good. And then I just disappeared and everybody else disappeared with it. So now I'm in the process, I'm crocheting right now. I'm in the process of trying to make my crochet business profitable again by just starting. And it's harder now because I realized, and I think I got a little discouraged. Let me back up a little bit. I got a little discouraged because I realized so many people are crocheting now that back in the day they were not crocheting. They weren't. They were not crocheting. They was not making stuff. Like, I was technically at the top, and then when I fell off for a little bit, I came back and I'm like overwhelmed. Especially scrolling on social media, I have to stop scrolling. I stopped for a minute because I cannot see the crochet. It makes me feel like I'm behind, super behind. And I realized that everybody now is trying to make profit off of crochet because it is starting to trend. People were sleeping on it before. They called it a granny hobby. Hold on. They called it a granny hobby. And I'm like, now how can I sit here and make this a little bit more profitable? How can I get back into making money from it? And how can I start? So if you're in the same boat, let's talk about it, because I've actually gotten back into it and I'm slowly starting to see a profit again, if that makes sense. Okay, so the first thing I've noticed that I was doing, and I wrote my notes down so I can talk to you about it. The first thing I noticed I was doing is that I wasn't paying attention to my actual costs starting out. And this was recently. I was sitting there pricing my stuff like super cheap just to get a sale, and it's like, are you just trying to make sales off of your hobby, or are you actually trying to make a business and a brand off of your hobby? And that's the question you actually need to ask yourself. What are you doing this for? Why are you doing this for? Are you truly passionate in it, or is it something just to make some quick money fast? Because baby, I'm gonna tell you right now, quick money fast in this crochet business, you're not making quick money fast. You might make a couple sales here and there, but it won't be consistent, and it will burn you out and drain you out. So there's a couple things I did write out. Things that you do need to take account for. Don't just base your project off of just your yarn. Don't do that. These are things you need to take account for. You need to take account for the yarn and the materials, your hook costs. You need to take account for packaging. How much does it cost for your packaging? Because you got to buy packaging. I get mine off Etsy. You got to get the poly mailers. How much is it going to be for your shipping supplies, whether it's your thank you cards, whether it's your stickers, whether it's your packaging tape. All of this stuff takes into account of the item that you're selling. And you have to keep that in mind, because you could sell just based off of the yarn, but you're not understanding that you will have to replenish those things eventually. The other things that you have to pay attention to is the website and the platform fees. I use Shopify. It's like $42 a month. Recently, right now my Shopify can't get paid because guess what? I haven't got the sale in, and I didn't take account of that. So yes, right now crochet is trending and people are trying to get cheap so they can make quick sales. But baby, if we're being honest, making quick sales will not keep you in business. You will eventually have to shut down. The next thing you have to pay attention to is the payment processing fees and your time and labor. So payment processing fees is, some places do take a taxes off of you, like they do take a chunk out of you processing payments. But not only that, you also have to keep in mind is you will have to be, especially if you're making a profit and you're registered as a small business, you will have to pay taxes eventually over time as they get more. I think it's about a certain amount of range depending on your state. But also your time and labor. It did not take you to, even if it took you 2 hours, the talent and skills that you have, you need to be charging for your time. Yes, minimum wage is $7.25, but people are making more than that in certain places. So why are they able to make more than that and you're charging yourself bare minimum? And I'm giving an example of, if it costs $50, now type this out, if it costs $50 to make something, it takes you 6 hours. Selling it for $60 isn't a profit. It's not profit. You're literally wasting your time. You wasted so much time making it to sell it for so cheap just to get a quick little $60, when in reality you deserve more than that. And because you made it doesn't mean everybody can make it. So stop sleeping on yourself when it comes to that. And don't forget, the last two things I want you to keep in mind too is you have to pay attention to your marketing and your other business expenses. So marketing is a big thing, and if you're big on social media, hey Niall, if you're big on social media, I would say use your platforms while you can. That means create content, but guess what? That takes time too. That's creating content, creating videos, whether it's short clips, whether it's long clips, whether it's tutorials, whatever it is, it's going to take time and you're going to have to do it. Now, some people do pay for marketing and they do pay for ads. I honestly have gotten so many clients and I haven't done that. So I can only imagine if I did do it, I might get more. But I only have a business Instagram and a business TikTok, but I have lately been using my personal pages also because it's just a part of a lifestyle. I'm not niching down, if that makes sense. Number 2, stop making products nobody is asking for. That is something that was big on me because I was making products that I think that just because I like it, that everybody else will like it and everybody wants. And honestly, it's like you're making beanies in the summertime, knowing no one's gonna ask for beanies in the summertime. Why are we doing that? But not only that, why are you sitting there promoting it when it's still summertime? No one's gonna buy it. Even if you're making them, it's okay to make them. Save them and for the fall. And so when fall starts approaching, videos tend to start pushing out faster around the fall time. So before fall hits, start making them and posting your videos. And then when fall hits, they'll start really pushing it out in the algorithm when people are looking for those things. So say ask yourself these questions, and these are a list of questions. I'll try to put them on the screen for you. I said ask yourself what sold the fastest. So out of all of your items, what technically sold the fastest? And if I can use mine for example, in the fall season, when I first started, like really pouring into my business, I created the crochet ski mask, and baby, they were selling like left and right. And I don't tell you just to focus on one gender because you'll be surprised, a lot of men do invest into their products and men are more willing to spend money than women. And you'll be surprised, the men were flocking at my ski mask. I was getting sales left and right. The next question I want you to ask yourself is, what did people ask about? When people hit you up, and that's a great way to have ideas, fresh ideas on things that you can learn how to make and sell, pay attention to the people that are DMing you. Because honestly, the flower bouquets, I literally slept on them and was like, I don't know if I really want to do them, but they were hitting my DMs left and right asking me for them. And so I finally took the time to learn how to make a bouquet. And within the first time of me learning, I got 2 sales over $300 in the first week of me starting them. Right? I haven't even made the mock one yet. I literally made a small one and they trusted me making the big one. That's what I'm saying. You got to pay attention to the stuff that people are asking for. The third question you can ask yourself is, what products got the most engagement? So when you're posting your stuff online, and I do recommend everyone start your YouTube, start your TikTok channel, start your Instagram channel, and do it. Instagram loves reels that are under 30 seconds. If you can do the cute little trendy transition ones on there, do it. If you can do cute little tutorials, do it. TikTok does like a little longer form here and there, but as you're starting out this new page, I do suggest keeping them under 60 seconds, because you're not getting paid for the content right now, so don't even worry about having to have long tutorials. But if you can get them above 30 and you have people that are following you, do it. I just made a tutorial the other day regarding our roses, and I posted on there, and I literally gained like 600 followers overnight on my business TikTok. Like, I was like, what? Because people want to see, people want to follow, and they want to know. So you always have to pay attention to that, of what are the products that are most engaging. My flower bouquets were so engaging that people are buying them and they love watching them and they love reposting them. Even if they're not buying, as long as they're reposting, it's going to get your stuff in front of clients that might be for you. The next question I would ask myself is, what would customers buy again? So you have to go through the things that you have made. If you know, my thing is people always trying to learn new things, right? You need to tighten up on the skills of the things you've already made. There's something that you can literally hone into and advance in that skill, and something you've already made. Really learn how to get into it and focus. Like, I was doing the flower roses and then learn how to do a sunflower, to make sunflowers into the bouquet. Something that adds more value to my skill that I already has. But pay attention to the things that customers are willing to buy again. Customers are willing to buy things that they can have for long term. They're willing to buy things that they can gift people. They're willing to buy things that last. I have people that still wear my crochet ski mask to this day, and I started selling them almost 4 years ago, and they're wearing them to this day. Like, it's crazy work. And the last question you should ask yourself is, what products take too long to make? You have to think about that, because if they're taking too long to make, there 9 times out of 10 you won't sell as many, and that's why I kind of slowed back down on the flower bouquets, because they do take really long time, and I can't just make them and have them on demand, in which a lot of people are like, oh, do you have any on demand? I'll buy some off you now. And it's like, no, they come custom order because they take so long, especially including the flowers. Then you have to do the blanket part, then you have to add the stems, then you have to attach them. It's a whole process that I don't really hone in on it too much, but I do charge more for those than I do my other items. So I would suggest to then focus more on what is working and less on what isn't working. It's okay to have offer those things, but I'm not going to sit here and focus in and make a whole bunch of bucket hats that are barely selling. Number 3, I would say, this is the third one, create smaller collections. Now, I've never created a collection in my life until the other day when I made my thrifted t-shirt bag purses. Now, I did add those bags onto the platform, the web, I'm gonna say my YouTube. I did show the video on how I made the yarn for the t-shirt bags because I couldn't afford the yarn. Thrifted some t-shirts, chopped them up, created crochet bags, and which I will be focusing back on again for the fall, because, well, once again, they were something that people wanted, and they were something that sold out overnight, literally 24 hours sell out after dropping 4. But I would suggest that you don't need to make like 20 products sitting on your website. You don't need to do that. Try 3 to 5 products. So I would say try to make 3 to 5 products, promote them, sell them, and then restock what works. So I will restock what works afterwards, because if it worked, people want it. It's like supply and demand. It's in high demand, so go ahead and profit off of it. Don't wait too late. This also prevents you from spending hundreds of dollars making inventory that just sits there. And honestly, I have so much inventory on my website that's just sitting there, and it's okay because I'm in the process of also one day owning an in-person store. So number 4, I put down, pay attention to your time. Okay, so this is really huge when it comes to handmade businesses, because you have to think, we spend a lot of time sitting there shifting through, doing things and making things, and we don't really have time to be wasting time making products, because if you waste time in the 5 days and then don't make a profit from it, you're mentally going to be exhausted and drained and sad. I've had those days where I've sat there and took so much time on something and it didn't sell, and I'm like, okay, what's the next thing to do? It's kind of like if it took you 15 hours to make it, and it only, like, for instance, if it took you 15 hours to make it and you only make $75 from it, you gonna start questioning, like, what am I doing? Why are we doing this? Like, or if it don't sell, you gonna be like, what? And just because you take 15 hours and you charge $1,500, that don't mean somebody gonna buy it. You see where I'm going? Yeah, you gotta think about supply and demand. What is trending? What do people want? And go from there. Number 5, make your best sellers your hero products. And I'm gonna break it down a little bit more for you. Instead of trying to sell everything equally, choose a few products you will want your business to be known for, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, my t-shirt bags or my flower bouquets will be my signature products that people are known for coming to TEK for, because they know I make them like that. Like, I can show you how to make it, but that doesn't mean you're gonna make them the way I make it. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like another factor that most people sleep on is the fact that people are too busy trying to sell. I should have put this as number 1. People are too busy trying to sell products, and people don't know who they are. So yes, you can sell them, but people are more likely to buy from you if they know who you are and why you're doing it and why you started, if that makes sense. 6, don't just post the finished product. So it's so easy for us to get so consumed in creating the finished product, that we don't show the process. You don't show how you're choosing your yarn. You don't show how you're designing the yarn. You don't show how the mistakes that you're having. You don't show how you're packaging the yarn or the orders. You don't show the time lapse. I wrote a whole bunch of things. You don't show the behind the scenes. You don't show how much this cost to make me. You don't show that. You don't show how long it took you. You don't show the custom orders, and you don't show the before and after. So it's like, yes, the final product is nice, but once again, people want to see how'd you get to where you got, and they want to see little clips and short tips behind it. So I'm working on that too, because I used to do it. I used to show the process, but now I'm getting back to it because I realized my content did better when I was showing the in-between. Number 7 is to separate the, how can I say this, your revenue of what you made from the profit, because so many times, just because you made $1,000, that don't mean you got $1,000. Let me say it again. Just because you made $1,000, that doesn't mean you have $1,000. Now, it is so hard, especially in the economy that we in, and I have been there where I've had times where I just needed the money and I'm making the sales because I'm trying to get the money to pay these bills, and then I'm back in the hole again. You have to realize that you have to be able to say how much it costs, how much material. You should be taking a note and account for all of the things that you are putting into creating that one thing to get into the sale. You should be able to replenish the yarn that you use to make that sale. You should be able to replenish the materials you use regarding shipping, etc., to make that sale again, if that makes sense. So just because you have $1,000 doesn't mean necessarily you have $1,000. You have to be able to go in and calculate your expenses from your income profit and then go from there. But you don't want to too busy get focused on your profit being your income, because you should be paying yourself from it but not taking all of it, because you should always have money to fall back on when it comes to your business. Number 8, don't be afraid to discontinue products on your site or when it comes to your business, because just because you love making it, that doesn't mean you always got to continue to sell it. Because guess what, it might not be selling and it might be wasting your time, it might be wasting materials, and you're gonna start getting discouraged because if it's not selling, you don't need it on there. Number 9, I would say track your numbers. You should be tracking your expenses. You should be tracking your revenue. You should be tracking your profit. You should be tracking your best sellers. You should be tracking your worst sellers. You should be tracking the hours that you worked. You need to be tracking all of these things so that way you know what you need for next month and things that you might need to change for the next month to be bringing it in. And I'm not telling you that because I do it for me too. And all this information, if you want, is also located on my website in my ebook, that starting your crochet business. So if I'm going too fast and you want more hands-on, definitely take a chance and go to my website and get the ebook and work through the ebook because it's yours, okay? And the last thing I would say is don't confuse being busy with being profitable, because you have to understand that just because you're busy, you could be continuously making things, you can be continuously making items, and you're always busy and you never have time. That don't mean you're making the money. You're burning out. That's exactly what you're doing. You're burning out. And I realized I don't need to make more things to make me feel like I'm profitable. I just need to be smarter in my decision making. And that's something that a lot of us question that we don't realize, and it's something that you really need to think about. Now, out of all these 10 things, if you follow these steps, you'll realize that you can start making better changes towards your business, and especially when it comes to crochet, and knowing that you can make it profitable. But I'm going to tell you like I tell everybody, and no one listens. The key is for people to know your why. People to know your why, to see you, to see what you've been through, to see why you got to where you're going, to see the process in which you're taking, and this will literally make it sell. I have people that will send me things that other people have made just for me to make it because they want to spend their money with me. This is what I'm getting at. Do I take it up all the time? No. I'm like, I really prefer you to content, because I do truly believe that each crocheter has its own design, and some things I'm not going to sit here and stress to make because they can go make them themselves. They literally are better at making it, and I don't want to knock another crocheter. But when it comes to you, I'm telling you right now, if you want your business to be profitable, if you want to be able to do it, I'm in the process of redoing these steps as myself. So I would tell you to go ahead, and I suggest go ahead and check out my website. I have my crochet business, how to start a crochet business ebook on there. It literally will take you step by step in the things that are important to you, that give you tips and tricks on how to start your crochet business and to start making it profitable again. But I hope this tutorial was beneficial. I know it might have been long, but trust me, we all in this together, because guess what, the same steps I'm telling you, I'm doing myself. And that's why I was able to come up here and tell you about it, because it's time for us to start really getting paid what we're worth and stop sleeping on ourselves. But I love you, and I'll see you soon. And this is only part 1 to my series. I will be coming out with another video, and I think the next video that we're going to talk about is repricing my crochet products and how you can reprice your crochet products too. So I'll see you on the next video. Bye.